welcome back to Brother Wolf, Sister Moon Divination. Hello, my dear fellow spirit workers. I hope you're all doing very well. And today I have a new message from Spirit, so let's get into it. Okay, so I just got a clear message using the pendulum. Wow. Okay, so they want the gypsy cards. Okay. Give these a quick little shuffle. For now. First card, a baby. Could be an actual baby or a new beginning, a new start, a new enterprise. In the past, we have the soldier. And we have, in the past, a sort of upside down home situation. The fiend again pops up in our reading. Constancy. So we must remain constantly vigilant and smart with our wits about us. You know, keep records, dot your I's, cross your T's, follow the rules, and be steadfast. Constanza. Stabilité. So strive, focus on, and stay connected to that which is bringing stability. Don't lose track of that. It amazes me how I've shuffled these cards, and through our readings together, I see some transitions have happened, but the theme is remaining, you know? There's this story keeps coming back to us. The Widower card. That's a past card. Let's get some more insights. That's more, we've had that in the past, but I'm glad to say that that is in the past, that lurking in the shadows business. But again, here pops this fiend. There's still some part of the story that lingers. Hope, or it's really desire. So maybe feeling unfulfilled, and you know, look how they come right near each other. This fiend, hustler, scumbag, and this person who longs for something that they, you know. Now for some, this actually might be a widow or a widower who now feels lonely. They had this home life before. It's in the past. Somehow there's a baby or a new beginning. It can mean that in that metaphorical sense. But there's this fiend around, and it comes right with this woman. Or, you know, this could be either way, folks. It could be same sex. It could be, this is actually the hustler woman, and here's the lonely guy, the widower or widow. The desire for home again and having a connection, but there's unscrupulous hustlers out there. So we got to keep our eyes open. All right. Let's look at this other. We need more stuff on this one. Lack of communication. And if it's a narcissist, it's intentional. They're, you know, they understand what you're saying. They're just choosing not to hear it. And then we have upside down money, gambling. This could also mean just literally losing money in gambling or at a card game, but also can mean taking a foolish risk. So, I wouldn't take any advice from this person. Oh, I know this guy is a good investment, or some kind of BS. Or just taking a risk and trusting when you really shouldn't, because it deals with money. And if this is actually a baby in the story, remember the baby's safety and health comes first. There are resources in your community. There's national resources, local resources, state resources. So don't be afraid to ask for help. But that is what comes first. And don't think for a second that this person has the baby's interest. So if you're thinking, well, at least it's let's say it's a woman-man situation. Well, at least, I'm not by myself. There's a man in the story. Well, not if he's Jack the Ripper. You're better off by yourself. You and your baby safe away from this stuff. That was a euphemism. Yes. I have to confer with Spirit. Let me just zone out for a little while with this. Let me focus on this. Okay, so apparently Spirit wants me to keep going in this pile. So let's slide some of this over. This is the good stuff. This is the garbage. And a lot of these decisions are being made because for some people, maybe there was a spouse that you were with or a partner for many years, and that was your home together, and now that's, as I said, there's a lot of cards of passing as a widow or widower. In this case it's a widower, male. It's still speaking of a loss, right? And it could pertain to, obviously it's spousal or partnerships that have, so that's a theme that came out, and maybe that's what's making bad decisions. And do not take any risks with your money. This is the result. So no get rich quick schemes. I know this guy. This is bad. All part of that bad stuff. So let's see. Again, a card of longing, hope, dashed, feeling down about this. Understandable. Okay, again, worrying about money. Okay, this is actually, as you saw, it was reversed, but I kind of picked it up, messed up, but anyway. So this is actually, okay, so this is obviously not a great card, but look at it's upside down. I read these upside down and right side up for subtlety and nuance. So maybe making the right decision by being vigilant and cautious, you averted a big problem. And we see this caballero, this lover, this dashing. Now, is this like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation? Either way, he's, not good. So look at this. Some Casanova Romeo type, or it's a hustler, totally. And so maybe by recognizing that, you avert this much worse situation. Let's put these on that pile. Okay, time to reflect. This is, for me, I read this card, those of you who are familiar with the tarot, as the Four of Swords. It's similar, right? The person has to rest, meditate, clear your mind, do a lot of white baths. We've talked about this recently. Yeah, so we're going to do some white baths. I'll give you the recipe in a minute and get through this. Okay, and you will come to the place where you'll feel loved and get what you need in terms of, you know, these emotions. This to me is also like the one of the pentacle cards of the lady in the garden, feeling content and everything's working out. So let's focus on her. Not just that it seems to be moving in the future, that this is achievable, but almost as an archetype. I want to be this happy person without care and just feeling abundant and fulfilled. And so this is our archetypal theme. Yes, they want real roses. So to bring forth this power energy, you know, this healing energy, think of her as this archetype that you're going to want to embody. Okay? So you're going to put real roses, any kind of beautiful Venusian kind of energy. A pink candle, rose quartz. You know, you can get inexpensive roses, like just even one or two. You don't have to get a bunch. You could just, like, you know, sometimes sell individual ones. They want roses. Okay? So you're going to put that. You're going to do your white bath for 3 days. Yes. And okay, pull one more card. And you will find the true love that you desire the right way. And you'll know it. Yes, so what was said here is that the irony or the paradox is that the person who's really good for you might not be the person that is perhaps your quote-unquote type, or someone you didn't think of in that way, but now you see them differently. You know, so some new thing comes out of this change in your, you know, cleansing yourself from all this BS. Your best strength is your common sense. You know what's right. You'll feel when something isn't right. Maybe some scam situation offer, something, you know, money issues, you know, bad information. So the strongest thing is to remain vigilant and you know what's right, and that you do have to take a break. You have to, like, disconnect and cleanse yourself with this white bath. That's a basin of. I have a little tutorial on the bath. You know, you can always improvise. You're gonna get a basin of water. You're gonna put some of that splash cologne, white flowers, white cascarilla, white cocoa butter. Crumble that in, and you're gonna do that for 3 days. And you're just gonna, from head to toe. And as you pour it over yourself, you're cleansing, saying your prayer, getting rid of the negative energy, bringing light and guidance into your story and your mind. And then you do that for 3 days. And as sidebar, as you pour these over, if you have white flower petals, they will collect at the bottom of the basin of the shower or the bathtub. So no big deal. After you do your prayer, just collect them, right? And just toss them, right? One more thing. A floor wash with some rose water. This particular one is not for eating. It's not food grade, but for our purposes, this is going to be like a floor wash, so it's fine. So anything with rose in it, okay. And they have these. They even have those little, like, very inexpensive splash floor cleaner, usually floral, lavender. You've seen them around. They're really, you get them in the dollar store. Something like that. Put a few drops of this in. Anything with rose in, that's your floor wash. and cinnamon. So you're going to take, you can just get powdered cinnamon. This is part of the floor wash. Yeah. And you're going to just pour a little drop, some of that in, like half a teaspoon of cinnamon. The best real way to do this now, alchemy, you're going to take the husks, those cinnamon sticks, right? Really good quality cinnamon sticks. I get some really good quality in cinnamon sticks at my Asian grocer / gift shop here in South Florida. But anyway, you can find this online too. And then what you would do there, you would put that in a pan or a little pot on your stovetop and just steep that. Let it don't quite get to the boil. Okay, and let that release all that cinnamon oil. And then once that cools down, then you can add it to your floor wash, a little bit of this rose water. And it can just be water. The base can be just water. Now, if you get one of these cleansers that I told you, some of those floral little light, freshen up the house kind of, not really strong cleansers. They're like just like splash, very little bit of ammonia, I think, is in there, which would be great for our purposes. But they're not super strong. But anyways, or just plain water, and then the floor wash ingredients, the cinnamon water and the that you're gonna create, or just powdered cinnamon and some drops of rose water, or something that has rose fragrance in it. And you're gonna sweep and clean your whole house with that. And so you'll see in 3 days things will really start changing. You'll feel lighter, you'll get more clarity, and you'll be able to have the strength to distance from this situation. Something with the phone. If you have some kind of plan or something with somebody, maybe get like a new phone. There's something about a phone. Remember we had that messed up communication card, like something's messed up with communication. That could include telephone. So cut whatever ties, including any kind of phone services that you have with this person. Yes. Change passwords. Make sure you have your doors locked. Front door, back door, windows locked. And listen, even if you have to sort of, fix it yourself. Let's say some of those sliding windows that they come up. If something's wrong with a window, then you can stick a broomstick or a piece of wood to then that prevents the track from going up, right? So let's say you can't afford to get it fixed properly and it's probably expensive. Make it work. Figure something out to make it, No, it's not that. Okay, what? No. What? So someone might be sent from this group, notice the finger, a liaison to try to soften you. No, I don't need to, I'm not interested in anything from that story, from that, don't even acknowledge them. Because they're an agent for them, a total double agent. You owe them nothing. Don't take their calls. They left something at your house, don't even respond. If there's anything, just leave it outside. They need you to put a line of defense symbolically behind your front door. On the inside? Okay, so you're also going to put a line in the inside of your front door as a defense line, with a chalk or cascaria. I always bring it up. Okay, you're going to draw that line, and a little bit on the outside front door. So, right, so this is the inside of your front door, and this is the outside. You're going to draw those lines, like one on the outside, one on the inside. Let's say you can't get Cascaria, you can use a school chalk, a brand new box of, you know, school chalk for just that purpose. You can also use incense ashes. I end up having so much incense ashes, okay, that you can make a line like that. Because remember, this isn't just any old ashes. This is incense. You've prayed on it. It has that energy of healing, you know. So this also is like a powerful, you know, you could draw that line with that too. So there's options, but you want to create that. I'm drawing a line. There's nobody getting in my house. That's it. That I don't trust or want in my house. It's not good for my family, you know, especially if there's a baby involved. Yes, we're good. That was closure. All right, be well, stay safe, stay strong, and as always, God is love.